going to affect your time. All right, so please take the additional sort of 3 or 4 minutes that you need. So thank you, and I think you've got your slides up ready to rock and roll by the looks of it. So over to you. Now I can't hear anything at the minute, guys.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Absolutely, thank you.
Sorry, yeah, I was just waiting to be unmuted. That's great. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for taking the time to allow Alemba to show you our latest developments in shift left technology. Myself and my colleague Andria Bradac will take you through a quick overview of the product and what we've been up to, and Andria will then give you a demonstration of the software in action. Next. Just a quick summary for people who might not know who Alemba and Alemba Service Manager are. We are a producer of IT service management software that have been doing so for over 30 years now. Our product is extremely deep and detailed, and it has the structures to support large enterprises, which makes it a very efficient system. And what we believe really makes it stand out is our cutting edge looks. So we're constantly trying to keep the UI up to date and in fashion so that it's what users expect to use and it works in the way of modern software. It has a very powerful graphical workflow designer that allows you to build any kind of application in a zero code environment, leveraging the platform that we are built on. We're built on the Azure platform, which allows us to extend the product in a zero code way using Azure Logic apps and Canvas apps. But also, if you do ever need to extend the product with code, you can do that through there in a safe and controlled way. So again, it gives you the power of an application platform as well as an IT service management tool. And all of that allows us to integrate to thousands of other applications out of the box using their Azure connectors. The final thing is just to say that the product comes with 3 interfaces. So the 2 that are sort of standard are, there's an analyst interface, which we call core, where you do all the work, set up the config, and there's a portal interface, which we're going to be focusing on today. Alemba provides that as a license-free interface for all users, including approvers, to execute their work. So that's the interface we're going to be focusing on today. But we do also provide a third interface, which is designed for software experts like developers or hardware experts, such as people that build servers and things, who might not be interested in learning a full-scale service management tool, but just want a simple place to pick up their work and do it. And we call that our nano interface, where we have abstracted the complexity of an ITIL-based tool so that people could just pick up their workload and get on with the job. Next slide, please. All of that work has really got its recognition this year in the Gartner honorable mentions. So if you look at the Gartner report, Alemba's there mentioned, which is a good achievement out of over 400 vendors to be in that top 11. Next, please. So today we're going to be focusing on this aspect of our tool, which is that front-end customer portal. So traditionally, we have, knowledge has been stored at the subject matter expert level. We've been trying to get it down to the resolver group level, and then trying to get it down to first line support to increase that first line fix. So we have many mechanisms to do that, but now the pressure is really on to get that down to the actual customer themselves. So what we've done is massively increased our application of the knowledge base through AI-driven search techniques, which really help customers. Also forcing knowledge to customers when they're trying to log calls and say, can this help, can that help? Support through chat so that customers can have guidance through the knowledge that is available to them, and again, try and get them to self-diagnose, self-help, find if there's any queries. Other things that we've done as well is allow customers to join existing major incidents that are happening in the infrastructure. So again, they're not logging more calls, taking up time, but they still get informed and updated. So all of those techniques together with the deployment across mobiles, in chatbots, collaboration on the Microsoft Teams platform through our Power BI platform, and the application of intelligence have all helped increase the ability for customers to self heal without disturbing the service desk, reducing costs and reducing the time it takes to get customers back up and working. So with that, I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Andria, who's going to show you some of those techniques in action.
I was just trying to end this show. One moment, the GoToWebinar has covered part of my screen.
That's okay.
Okay, that's better.
No worries.
I was like, half my screen is missing. All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me. Today, I'm going to be showing you the self-service portal and demonstrating how you can use it to reduce traffic in your service desk and how to use proactive measures and AI functions. So as Laurence alluded to, ASM supports the shift left approach. This empowers your users to be more self-sufficient than ever before in a number of ways. We do that through social collaboration and a virtual agent with deeply embedded knowledge management, scripted troubleshooting, and even an enterprise service catalog that it promotes access to the whole company across all your departments, HR, facilities, and IT. Today we'll focus on, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the ASM portal homepage. That's what you're looking at right now. We'll talk about self-sufficiency and knowledge capabilities, global search, useful tips menu, and then we're also going to look at the Alemba virtual agent and the Teams integrated chat, how users can easily log issues, and we'll also look at the service request catalog. That's more of an overview. This is the catalog where you can digitally automate the workload, all of it, to reduce the burden on your service desk. So the layout of the portal puts everything in plain view. It also supports more than 90 languages. I don't know if you can see it. There's a tiny little icon right up here in the top right that allows you to change the language. Right now I'm only displaying 2, but there are actually more than 90 languages. The next thing that you'll see is across the top, we have, we have your menus. So we can log an issue directly from here, raise a request, view all of the latest news, which is the bulletin board. We'll get to that in just a second. There's the useful tips menu and options menu where your users can change some of their own information, for example. I'll show you. So they can change their password, set up delegation, view reports. And then chat is always available. Okay, I just zoomed and I don't know how I did that. That's better. Okay, so at the very top, I'm still zoomed. How am I? Sorry guys, I gotta fix my zoom. It's cut off. What did I do?
Yeah, you probably just.
Okay, Laurence, I don't know what I just did here, but it's not looking right.
Well, do you want to restart the browser maybe, if that'll help?
Or reload the page.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't
Andrea,
know what
I can
I
actually
did.
see
Let
your,
me just,
I can
let
actually
me
see your
reload.
whole, I can actually see your whole screen, Andrea, so I'm not sure what you're seeing.
Oh, the banner is cut off. I got this Apple mouse and it just zoomed in on me. I don't know what it did. Okay, then I'm gonna keep going. If nothing's cut off, I'll just keep going.
Just keep
All
going,
right.
it's fine.
So the very first. Oh, okay. All right. So the first part of the page is the bulletin board or the latest news banner. This constantly updates with current information that you can push globally. But the nice thing about this is you can also push bulletins to target audiences and specific groups. So it's a really fantastic feature that it just constantly scrolls. Next up is our most popular services widget. So this is an aggregate of the most frequently requested services from the service catalog. You know, end users, as you would expect, can request services through the service request catalog. It's an intuitive format that's easy to adopt. It's similar to most online shopping methods, and you can even promote or categorize items for easier browsing. So we can access the service catalog by either clicking the link here, or again at the very top, we can click Raise a Request. Once I arrive in the service catalog, I'm able to look for services by a logical set of categories. Let me go ahead and just delete that order. So we have a logical set of categories, and so this is very representative of your unified or your enterprise service catalog. So your users can just navigate through the different categories to get to the things that they need to get to quickly. We can also promote items. For example, I will go ahead and click on a security card. So part of the power of the service request catalog and how it really automates your service delivery is that you're directing the users to gather the information that support needs to either work the request or the issue, or that the automation engine needs to automate requests so that they're completely touch-free. We do that in a number of ways, but I can show you primarily the easiest thing is the fact that we can do dynamic fields. So here I selected alternate card, and you'll notice that a new field popped up, reason for alternate card. If I just select new card, well, of course that disappears. So the system really guides the user into collecting exactly the information that's needed. No, I'm not gonna say that. Shift left is further supported by dynamic. Oh, I already talked about that, dynamic fields. So next down on the list, we have the major incident and most viewed FAQs. The major incident widget, Laurence talked about that a little bit earlier. It's a powerful tool because it allows your users to understand and be informed of major incidents in the organization. But it also allows them to add themselves. So there's this little button. If they are being impacted by the same major incident, they can come into the tool, they can click Add Me, and a little window will pop up and ask, are you sure you want to add yourself to the major incident? If they select yes, what the system does, it still creates the incident, but it links it to the major incident as a child. So you still have good metrics, you still know how many users were affected, but all the updates go to the major incident. So your support desk doesn't have to search through the system, find related incidents. They don't have to field 1,000 phone calls or emails. It all just happens automatically and seamlessly, and they're only ever working on one record. So this is one thing that I really love this about the system. The most viewed FAQ widget promotes what the system believes to be the most helpful articles. It sends them to it sends them to the top of the list based on the hit count. So you can see here I've pretty much hit this knowledge article 40 times. So it is promoting it to the top based on the hit count. The My Tickets widget gives your users effectively a 30,000-foot view of all of their open issues. Your users can click into an open issue and add notes and updates directly to the analyst assigned. This is a really neat feature. And so I'll go into this one. And they can see all of the details, including their SLAs, and they can add notes and they can communicate directly with their analyst. And it just shows over time, right, as you're working the ticket, you'll see the, basically it's like a chat-esque style running history of everything that has happened with the ticket. So it's pretty neat, neat feature. They can also, this is important to note, they can also self-close. Finally, the users can get a quick view of, oh, I just did it again. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I have no idea what's happening. Look, hold on, I have to fix this.
Well, it may well be the scroll wheel itself. I think Damien has pointed that out.
Andrea, just go to view actual
I have
size.
no idea.
Just go to view actual size.
It's fine as these things. That's
Perfect.
There you go. There you go.
This is an Apple mouse, and I have no idea. Sometimes it just does things. It switches screens, does things. All right. So at the bottom, I don't like that view either. That's where I want it. Okay, so at the bottom you have my approvals and my equipment. And just give your users a quick view of any approvals that they might have waiting that they need to action and all the equipment that's assigned to them. Now we'll try not to zoom the screen anymore. All right, so let's assume in the scenario for the demo of logging an incident, let's assume we have a user named Alice and she's having an iPhone issue. Alice can come to the portal. She can look at the most viewed FAQs to see if there's anything kind of just front and center that might jump out. But she sees that none of that really fits. Alice can do a global search to see if there's something more relevant to her. So the system has this global search capability. It's very much like Google. So you can type in iPhone, for example. And what the global search does is it goes and gets everything, everywhere that Alice has access to see. So all of her calls, all of her requests, anything in the service catalog that she has rights to, and of course, all knowledge. So that could end up being a really big list. Nice thing is you can filter this list. So you have these filters, and right now they're all turned on. I mean, you can click them one by one and turn them off. So I just turned off the service catalog. I can also turn off request. And I can turn off calls or tickets. And what we're left with then is just what's in knowledge. So this is a very quick way as a user when you're in the system to go, I like just what's out there, right? You can use the global search to find just what is out there. Now, within a knowledge article, I'll just show you one real quick. Within a knowledge article, Alice can get all the information that she needs. And as a support organization, you can create really useful articles because you can, it's a full HTML editor, so you can put in your pictures, links to other documents. There's really nothing that you can't do. This also gives Alice the ability to give some feedback on the article, which is an excellent way for you as an organization to make sure your knowledge base is always relevant, is always current and that your users are finding it useful. So let's assume Alice didn't find what she needed there. We have a useful tips menu that you're able to configure also. So useful tips, it's right up here. And with useful tips, you're able to put in links to your FAQ. This is the whole FAQ. You can search the knowledge base. There's a link for a scripted troubleshooter called Can You Fix It Yourself? And then some other knowledge articles sitting right up top. Now here we're going to search the whole of the FAQ. So I can just enter iPhone again. And there we have the two FAQs. And then I spoke about that briefly, but there is the Can You Fix It Yourself, which is a scripted troubleshooter. These are probably pretty familiar. So you can script common issues for your users, like communication issues are common, printer issues are common. So lots of these commonly reoccurring issues can be scripted. Alice can also simply talk to a virtual agent, and that's using the Alemba bot at the bottom. So if we initiate the Alemba bot, Alice can type in, I have an issue with my iPhone. What the Alemba bot will do is go and look for a knowledge article for her to see if maybe it's appropriate. She can open the knowledge article right from the Alemba bot, and you'll notice it still stays available in the lower part of the screen. Let's assume this article helped Alice. So we're going to tell her that it helped. The Alemba bot's going to ask her, is there anything else I can do? Well, she can now say, I'm having a printer issue too. The Alemba bot will go back out again and it'll find another knowledge article. Now this can be federated to other knowledge sources or knowledge that's internal to the system. This time we're going to say it didn't help. So now the Alemba bot is going to continue to suggest more knowledge articles, but also give her the ability to chat to an analyst. And that's what we're going to do now, is chat to an analyst. So the integration to Microsoft Teams tells Alice that we're waiting for an analyst. There's no analysts online, but there's one in the queue. So I'm going to go back in here. I am available. It just refreshed. Now I can see Alice's chat. The chat queue gives the analyst a lot of information, how many chats are waiting, what the status is, how long they've been waiting, and who the user is. So we're just going to pick up this chat. And from here inside the ticket, you can see we have a matching panel right up front with possible matching calls and also possible matching knowledge. So to fire up this chat, I'm just going to go down here to the lower corner and click Start Chat. We'll go ahead and open this chat in Microsoft Teams. And we're starting a new conversation. And so as Alice chats with the analyst, the script or the chat transcript is being captured into the history of the call. And I don't think Laurence is going to answer. Oh, there he is. All right, so as this chat continues, it's all being captured. So what I'll do is I'll come over here and I'll end the chat now. Once the chat's been ended, you will see that it has been added into the full history of the call. There it is. It's been added to the full history of the call. So the audit log captures everything that has happened. Okay, so absent all other options, Alice can still log an incident the traditional way. So we're going to go ahead and log an issue here. Email supports. We already know who she is. And as soon as Alice starts typing, the system is already going to still suggest knowledge for her based on the aggregate of what she's put inside the incident. At this point, she can look at these knowledge articles and go, you know, this looks really relevant to me. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that. Yeah, that looks, and now Alice can self-resolve right from here. She can say, excellent, it fixed my issue. She can submit that rating, and then she can choose solve, close my call. Now, even though Alice self-resolved, ASM still logs the incident. It still links the KB article to it. It auto-closes it. And this means that no agent has had any interaction with her, but you still have a wealth of information on the incident record and about the knowledge article that was used to solve it. If she left feedback, you also have a valuable source of information to improve your knowledge base. With all the self-support options we have available and the enterprise service catalog, we've achieved shift left. I really want to thank you for your time today. I'm sorry, I think I ran a little bit over. If you have any more questions, please contact Alemba directly.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. No, time is fine. We've run over a little bit in the last one. Time's absolutely fine. And there's, yeah, some really good use cases there and plenty of options. We have got a question that's come through, and it's in relation to the customization. Yeah, so the user experience really of all that. So how easy is it to customize what we've just saw? Is it relatively easy? Do you need a team internally, or can somebody with maybe less coding skills or just some logic maybe work this? How does that work?
Oh my gosh, it's actually extremely easy. In fact, on average, it takes less than one FTE person to manage the entire system. It's all drag and drop, it's all GUI based. Everything you see on the screen can be changed to match like your company's branding and logo, the color scheme. You can even go so far as to use RGB to match your colors and everything exactly. So it can all be rearranged. All of these widgets can be moved around and resized, and there are actually a lot more widgets that you can put on here. You can also take widgets off. Like, for example, if you don't want users to be able to see their equipment, you can take that widget off. Maybe you want it at the top. You can move it all the way to the top. So there's really no limit to what you can do with your portal.
Great stuff. Good. That's excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Look, thank you for joining us, guys. And I think we're going to have Clark Stolham, I think it's Stolham pronounced, from Alemba joining us a little bit later on, which is great, the Q&A as well. So thank you very much both. Thanks for joining us, and we're going to move on. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Next, we have another break. So time to grab a tea, grab a coffee, maybe even a packet of crisps. You never know. You might be lucky. And